welcome back to Steady Roll and Man presents The Masked Nyarlathotep. Our brave investigators have acquired a tome, an ancient tome of dread knowledge that man is not meant to possess. So Stanton is going to read it. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out on our next episode.
Right, the first thing we need to do before we do anything else is just revisit the end of last session where I erroneously discussed healing. Because there's some because of the fact that you guys are resting up in a comfortable environment, and also that you have the potential of being tended by Stanton, that there should be some bonus dice available for your healing rolls. So the first thing I need to do is, Stanton, I need you to make a medicine roll, please, to see whether you can actually help with Douglas's and Lex's healing through the week, and also your own, obviously. So
I'm a librarian, not a doctor.
Yeah. Can you make one for Lex first?
Okay.
Excellent. That's just 20.
That's
just 20. Get in. Oh, good grief.
That's not the right dice, is it?
Yeah. Next one down. Oh, just missed it.
Okay, 24. That's pretty good.
You missed it, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Douglas?
No.
Yourself? No. Okay. Okay. So you're otherwise distracted by things like reading the book and other stuff, probably, which is why you're not spending the requisite amount of time pending.
Healing myself as well. I'm still.
Okay, but having said that, Lex, you should get a bonus die for being in a comfortable, resting, comfortable environment. So no exertion. So can you remember what you rolled last time? We've probably still got it on.
I can. I rolled 80.
So you need to roll another bonus D10 to see whether you can get that down.
No, because it says 7 on the screen.
It is actually 7.
Yep.
Okay. So your hit points stay where they are then. Douglas, did you succeed last time or did you fail?
I failed. I got 90.
You now have another opportunity. So if you can roll a bonus die as well.
40.
So I presume that's a success under your con score.
It is.
Okay. On that basis then, you get the grand total of 1 extra hit point.
Okay, so that means I am on half hit points now. Does that mean I still have a major wound?
I don't think it does. I have a feeling you have to be on or above. I will just as soon as you reach half hit points, you no longer have a major wound.
Yeah, slightly less chance of dying immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So as from my calculations, you still got a major wound, haven't you, Lex?
No, I don't. I never had a major wound. I just had lots and lots of
yeah, that's right. So actually, nobody's got any major wounds now. Everybody. So obviously, Lex, you're still pretty beat up.
I am. So, do I understand correctly that I will now heal a little bit each day over the days that we're resting?
That is correct, because you haven't got a major wound. So one day, yeah. So it was going to be. Right, I'm just going to try and work out how many days it's going to be.
No, is anyone getting a clicky noise?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I am.
No, not me.
What sort of clicky noise?
That explains who it is then. There's a click, click, click. It sounds like someone typing slowly.
Not me. Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, so you can get 5 because you haven't got a major wound. You can get you're resting for 5 days, so you get 5 hit points back.
Yeah.
Okay. And that means that Douglas, you don't get any because you started this week with a major wound. You can't start healing at a normal rate until now, basically.
Boo.
Yeah, sorry about that. And as far as Stanton goes, you didn't have a major wound before, so you should be okay now.
I did have a major wound.
Okay.
But then I thought, and they released me from hospital.
Yeah.
I thought I got healed.
Yeah.
I'm currently on 9. I went up last session.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Because you didn't have a major wound after you got released from hospital, you then got normal healing as well. So
Okay.
you're fully recovered.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
So it's just Douglas and Lex that are still injured. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Righty-ho. Okay. In the few days since since the last session, you've been resting up in the Morningside Hotel. If you remember, you managed to secure yourself a suite in the Morningside Hotel on Morningside Drive, just a stone's throw away from the Columbia University and also Stanton's residence. So you're all staying together in the same suite. Other than going out to collect the telegram from Carlton Ramsey that you need to take with you to see Erica Carlisle, and also going to hire a car. I think your plan, from what I remember, was to hire the car and have the reg number, but not actually drive around in it until you.
Yep. Until we need it.
The first time you'll be driving around it is when you actually go upstate to Westchester. Is that right?
That is true. Yep.
Okay. Can I ask all of you except for Adam just to drop for just a few seconds, and then I'll send you a message on the Masks WhatsApp group just to let you come back if that's right.
Yep. Okay, doc. Goodbye.
Thank you. Okay, Adam.
Okay.
Have you read the? Oh, you can read the thing that I sent you now.
Okay.
Okay, so this happens on the night of Wednesday, the 28th of January, which is about the day before you're due to go to see Erica Carlisle. You've been studying the book for a good few days. You don't need to read it all now because you'll have enough time to go read through it after I finish talking. But essentially, you unfortunately have been affected quite badly by the contents of this book. Okay, you have lost 7 sanity points.
Is that 7?
7, yeah.
Last
Yeah.
week.
Okay, so if you read through what happened, and essentially what's happened here is that you have suddenly just flipped, as per the narrative that you can read, and you just gone out. You basically ran down outside and into the street in the middle of the night in your pajamas.
Oh no.
So, when they find you, or eventually, either they'll come and find you, and then you'll have to role play being in the state that the narrative that I sent you dictates. Okay.
Yeah.
Or eventually, if they can't find you, then we'll have to work out whether you manage to find yourself, because it only lasts a limited duration, and you'll have to try and get yourself back. But we'll just see what happens first. But just read it through, and then get ready to react if they come and find you. Because when they find you, you'll still be in that kind of weird state for a bit.
Okay.
The last thing is that you, as a result of that, you have, which you can probably guess once you've read it, you have quite a strong aversion to the book.
Okay.
So even if your sanity returns fully, then you probably will be quite reticent to continue reading the book for a bit, as you can imagine. Okay.
Okay.
The last thing I need you to do is make a luck roll for me, please.
No, that's a phone.
Failed?
Yep.
Okay, and a dodge roll, please?
No, that's failed as
Okay.
well.
All right, thanks. I'll let you know what happens on that basis later.
Get hit by the truck.
Okay. I will get the rest of them back.
If you wanted to talk to him alone, it can't be all good. Ahoy.
Hey, some of it's good. Depends on your word I can't even say. Point of view. Yeah. Is Andy back?
Nope.
No. Let's wait for Andy to come back. Okay, so just whilst we'll wait for Andy to come back. The suite that you've got at Morningside Hotel, it's got 1 bedroom, and obviously, I guess you guys have just been kind of crashing out on the couches and wherever you can, really. Quite keen to ensure that you're all pretty much in the same. That's why you chose a suite, wasn't it, rather than having separate rooms?
Yeah. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And we are. There's always stuff in front of the door at night.
Well, you just put like a chair in front of it or something.
So nobody can just burst in, even if they pick the lock.
Okay, that's cool. Andy, is he watching the Masks chat? Maybe I'll put it into the.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Cool. Okay. It is the night of Wednesday, the 28th of January. So the day before you are due to travel to the Carlisle estate in Westchester. I was just saying, Jacob, that you're in the Morningside the Morningside Hotel in a suite which has one bedroom, so it's a case of fighting for the bedroom, and then the rest of you have been sleeping out, kind of in the on couches, etc. Are you rotating the bedroom, or just one person having the bedroom, or how's that going to work?
I think I should have the bedroom because I am obviously the most poorly.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think anybody can argue with that.
I'll forego the bedroom because I'm
Okay.
feeling hearty at the moment.
Right. On that basis, then, can Lex and Jacob please make a listen roll?
I have not succeeded in my lesson roll.
Just so you know, I'm not breaking rule 1 or 2.
Excellent.
Do you both fail then?
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay. Okay, and can you make a spot roll, please?
that's a hard success for me.
Ooh,
I appear to be asleep.
Okay, yeah, you're okay. So it's the early hours of the morning, Jacob. You've just woken up. You don't know why. You wake up. You're on a couch. You can see across the kind of living area. There's another couch where Lex is face down, fast asleep. You can see him snoring away. Obviously, you've got your other colleague, Douglas, is through in the room, but something isn't right. You've woken up suddenly, and you're not sure why. You can feel a draft. You glance over to the couch or the chair where Stanton was last seen, and you see it's empty. You see the book that he's been reading for the last few days thrown onto the floor, and you realise that the reason that there's a draft is because the door to the apartment is wide open. The chair has been thrown back, and there's no sign of Stanton.
I'll get up, quickly disturb Douglas and Lex, grab my gun, and head out through the door into the hallway. I'll tell them as I go, Stanton's gone.
I'll rouse myself quickly, throw on some clothes, grab my gun too, and head out. The book is on the floor, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like it's almost been like thrown on the floor. It's like just tossed. It's face down on the floor, like it was open, but it's face down, and it's just almost like it's been thrown.
No, it doesn't look like it's open at a specific page.
No, it looks like it's been just chucked on the floor.
Right,
Well,
let's put it. Take it with us if we leave. We can't leave it here. Wherever he's gone, we need to have that book. So either Lex, can you carry it in your backpack while we look for him?
Yep, I'll pop it in the backpack. If he's not in the corridor.
Okay, you go out onto the corridor. Just as an aside,
guys, sorry, I'm really sorry. I've just got to stop for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay. Just whilst Simon goes off, what's the situation with all the other items? Because there was some discussion. I don't think you decided in the end whether you were going to keep them or whether you're going to put them in a bank safe or whatever you decided.
We ended up keeping them. We haven't been anywhere. So
no. So you still got them all in your backpack at the moment.
Yeah, pain in the bottom,
Okay.
or pain in the shoulders in this case.
Yeah. Does that include the timepiece as well?
How large? It's quite heavy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite heavy. Yeah.
It'll have to be. I'll just have to lug it.
Yeah, we kept. I think we had a plan, didn't we? Because we were talking about this before. On a Friday night, weren't we? And we were waiting for Monday before a bank opened, but I don't think we've actually done anything about it.
Yeah, well, you've had a couple of days since then, so it's that's if you decided between you that you were going to put it in a bank for all the stuff in the bank vault other than the book, then that's fine.
Yeah, that is, I guess, what we wanted to do. So
okay, well we'll say that's what's happened then.
Okay, so I'll just put the book in the backpack, and they'll head out into the corridor and down to reception. And then when we get to reception and he's not there, I don't know what we're going to do, to be perfectly honest. But let's.
Okay, so you kind of run out of your room. You see the corridor which leads to a landing area, which then the stairs lead down. You're on the first floor. You look up and down the corridor. It's early hours of the morning, so it's really quiet. The hotel. There's nobody around, and there's no sign of Stanton at all. Okay.
Head down the stairs to reception. See if he's in reception, and see if there is a receptionist.
Okay.
That we can speak to.
Yeah, there is a receptionist. She's kind of deep in a book as you go downstairs. And she looks up from over her glasses.
Okay, go up to her. Good evening, ma'am. Did you see my friend just leave? Just a little bit shorter than me. Similar height to my friend here. Round glasses.
Yeah, I saw someone kind of hot-footing it across the hallway, and he left in one hell of a hurry.
How long ago was that? Sorry to be rude and
Oh,
questioning yours.
only a couple of minutes ago. He didn't even have any. He didn't even have a coat on, or any shoes. Is he all right?
Did you see which way he went?
Yeah, I think he went south.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank you.
he's just feeling a little unwell. Well, thank you for your help. Right.
Right,
Head up.
quick, head south.
Yeah.
I follow them.
Okay, you head out onto Morningside Drive, which is obviously, as you can imagine, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty quiet. There is icy snow on the ground. Hardly anybody about at all. All the streetlights are off. It's pretty cold. It's about -4, -5. You head down Morningside Drive. Can you make a spot hidden roll, all three of you, please?
Oh yeah,
I've succeeded.
That's an extreme success.
Okay.
I had a hard success.
Okay. So Douglas, you got a hard success.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, Jacob extreme and me just normal. I was really pleased with my normal success.
No success. Yeah.
And everyone else did just a little bit better.
It makes you feel better. We can arm wrestle if you like.
Okay. Douglas, you're kind of walking as quickly as you can down Morningside Drive. When you see in front of you, on the sidewalk, two very distinctive footprints, actual footprints, bare feet in the snow, heading in the direction that you're going.
Gentlemen, this way. Footprints.
Up
We're
the
gonna hurry.
pace.
He's going to freeze.
Okay, you start to follow the footprints, and then they turn along a side road, and as you turn the corner, just begins to head up the side road, following the footprints. Suddenly, Jacob, you see a figure across the street on the other side of the road, kind of running. Well, not running, kind of scuttling along, sort of hunched over, slipping and sliding everywhere. And as you watch, he kind of zigzags out into the road. Unfortunately, at exactly the same time as a car is coming. Basically just crashes into the side of the car, like rolls over the bonnet, and then lands on the road.
I'll dash over to say to Douglas and Lex, it's with that damn book.
Mhm.
I'll give it a full sprint, and when I get to him, I'll try and pin him down so he can't go anywhere. I mean, he might be really badly injured, but I'm going to pin him down anyway.
Check him before you pin him.
As you begin to head in his direction across the street, the motorist kind of gets out and starts shouting at him. But he just gets up, seemingly unaffected by the fact he just rolled over our bonnet, and he just starts running across the road off up the street.
Okay, I'll get after him with a full sprint.
Okay.
What's the driver doing? Just leaving him?
Yeah, just shouting and like gesticulating. He just gets back in the car.
Okay. Ignore him. Keep running towards.
Yeah.
Our crazy friend.
Okay. Okay, Lex. You're pretty fast in terms of running, so you kind of get ahead. You're catching up with Stanton quite quickly now, and he turns as you approach him. You can see that he's kind of limping quite badly. You can see a bit. You see there seems to be some blood seeping through his trousers.
If I get close enough to tackle him, I'm going to tackle him.
Okay, bear with me. You're gaining on him pretty quickly. So when you get as close as you can, you're just going to try and tackle him to the ground, are you?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Can I get you to make a maneuver roll, which is an attack roll?
So I'll brawl.
Yep, exactly that.
Hard success.
Okay. Okay, you dive at him, and you grab hold of his legs and you bring him down perfectly. He tried to dodge out of the way at the last minute, but he had no chance. You're just way too fast and agile for him. You bring him down onto the pavement. You're now holding onto him. the other two, you're catching up now as Lex has downed Stanton. He turns round and you see his eyes are wild. His eyes are wide and wild.
What are you doing? Don't stop me. I've got to get away. It's going to get
Away from
me.
what, Stanton?
Can't you see? It's in the clouds. It's in the alleyways.
Right, Stanton. We'll take you somewhere safe. Come with us.
But it's seen me. It's seen me already. It knows where I am. It's coming for me.
What's it?
It's everywhere. It knows where I am. It could see me. It was the mountain. The mountain in the book.
We'll start guiding him back to the suite as he's rambling.
Okay.
We'll take you
Oh,
somewhere
I'll
safe,
help
Stanton.
I'll help
Somewhere
him up.
warm.
I'll help him up and help him walk by holding onto his arm firmly, so that he is not getting away from me.
Okay. He doesn't seem
What?
particularly enamoured with being manhandled, but you can see that he's.
What's in your pack? What's in there?
Chocolate.
You haven't brought it with you, have you? You haven't brought it. It's not there. You haven't got it with you. It's going to get me. It's going to get me.
I say nothing.
And I'll
Come on,
try and wriggle
Stanton.
out.
Okay. Stanton, you try to wriggle out, but Lex got you held fast. You can see that he's been you can see that he's been injured by being hit by the car. The top of his leg has got a couple. Well, the clothes are ripped, and there's a cut there, but also quite bad bruising is already starting to come out. He was quite lucky though, to be honest.
Right, Stanton, we need to get that scene too. We need to get you inside because you're going to freeze. Quite aside from what might get you, the cold will get you before it can. So come with us. You're safe. We can talk about this once we're inside. And you don't need to worry about the book. It's nowhere near you.
It can see me through the book.
Okay.
And it's just look up there. See, no stars tonight. It's in the clouds.
Right.
Well,
Well, you can
let's
tell
get in away from the open sky, Stanton.
Okay, so what you're going to do? Try and take him back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay, you take him back to the hotel, and the whole time he's just rambling on. Literally, just doesn't stop talking.
And can't you hear it as well? It's that rumble. It's constant. It's the mountain, the sound of the mountain, or what the mountain is. It's not a mountain. I don't know.
that the mountain of the black wind. Is that what you're referring to?
I don't know. It could be whatever it is. It's there. It's alive. It's coming for me, and it'll come for you as well. All we can do is run.
It'll save us going looking for it.
Okay,
Right.
you get back to the hotel. You push open the kind of revolving door. You hurry across the lobby. The receptionist looks up quizzically and then goes back to her book as you head up the stairs.
Yeah, I've made an impression there.
Right, let's get him upstairs.
Okay.
Anybody got any experience with dealing with psychosis? Because I have no idea what to do with him.
Well, that won't help at all. This isn't just in my mind. It's coming for us. It is the black wind. It's like you said.
Well, how do you know that it's coming for us?
Because it saw me when I was reading the book.
And how will it find us?
I don't know.
Okay, you're back inside your room now. You close the door behind you. Stanton, the first thing that you see is the book lying on the floor in front of you. In front of the chair where you were sat.
Oh my God! Don't let it see me.
I was going to put it in the bedroom. Okay, we'll leave him in the bedroom. We'll put that in. I'll give it to Lex. Put it in your rucksack, Lex.
Stanton, you're injured. Can I see if I can do anything to help that?
Yeah. You can.
I'll use Stanton's first aid kit and see if I can do anything for the
Okay.
the bruise.
Yeah, make a roll then.
I'll sit on the edge of the bed with my head in my hands.
I'm sorry, Stanton. This isn't my thing. I don't think I've really helped you much.
No, you don't do it like that. You do it like this. Look, this is how you do the bandages. Didn't mean to press that twice. Take the first one, which means I also messed up the bandages.
Okay.
I absolutely roll my eyes, and
You watch the other two making a right pig's ear of trying to stop the bleeding and icing the bruise.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, you failed it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't fail it wasn't that much.
I know, but so pig's ear is better than. Well,
I didn't kill him.
exactly. You didn't do any more damage.
a long time since my basic training in the Navy. I don't think I'll be able to do any better.
Okay, so you've decided
Oh,
that
I roll my eyes now.
you've decided between the three of you that it's nothing to do with the fact that you're completely incompetent. It's the fact that it's actually nothing you can do at this stage because he's just been hit by a car. So
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
you bandage him up the best you can, and hope that to see what he's like tomorrow, essentially. But you're more concerned about his mental state than the physical state. It doesn't look like the wound, the injuries are threatening, and you don't think he's broken anything either. It's just quite bad bruising.
Has the bedroom's presumably got windows, but there isn't a
Yeah,
fire,
yeah.
is there a fire escape out?
No, there isn't.
there?
No, there's not a fire
No.
escape in this room. No,
And we're at the top of the building, aren't we? Or
we only first floor. Well, yeah, so
first floor. Okay.
yeah.
Right.
You see that Stanton, his eye, his kind of wide-eyed, maniacal look seems to have dissipated somewhat. Now he's inside and sat on his bed. He seems like he's got his head in his hands. He just seems he stopped rambling as well.
Can you get me a glass of water? My head is killing me.
Tell
I'm
us,
going.
tell us
Go and
what
get some
you
water.
tell us what you read.
I'll look at my hands and my feet. How did I get injured? What happened?
You decided to take a stroll. Unfortunately, directly in front of a car.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it was the book. It's just full of evil.
Here's that water, Stanton.
Thank you. I'll take a gulp. So I've not really been able to work out. Well, I don't know. I don't know what really is in the book, but I did see Dark Mountain against a red sky, blood red sky, and crawling all over the mountain. These little ants, these people, these figures, these things, and then underneath just a sea of souls wailing, sea of people wailing and chanting. And then I don't know if it was the mountain. It was the mountain. I think it was the mountain or something in the mountain or on the mountain. But it just felt like I could see it, but then that it could see me. And I'll look about. It seems to be coming for us. It's going to take over the world.
So it's not coming for us specifically. It's coming for everyone.
I think both. It's coming for, or must be coming for everyone.
You
But I
notice
think-
that as Stanton's talking, well, firstly you notice how pale he is. Like maybe because he's been outside in the cold, but he every now and again his face just kind of ticks sideways when he's talking.
Yeah, it's just. I think is that how it gets people? I don't know, but it saw me through the book, and that's the only way I can explain it.
Was this a waking vision, Stanton, or were you sleeping?
I was reading the book, and that's when it saw me. That's when it happened. That's right. I was reading the book on the in the main room out there, and then as I was focusing on the different on one section, that's when it came out.
And was this a feeling of consciously aware of you, or were you somewhere else where it could see you?
I was here, but it could see into my mind. Must be in my mind, but maybe it saw through the hotel, through the walls, through the roof. Maybe it's both.
Sounded like it was connecting to your consciousness through the book somehow.
But but it was in the clouds as well. And I was outside. It wasn't just in here, and in the alleyways and under the cars. And whatever's in the book, it's not going to help us.
So nothing in there.
It's just going to drag us into the abyss. I think anyway.
So
what is in the book?
well, you tell us.
I was reading the book, but I can't remember. I've been reading this book for days, and all I've got is this mountain, these figures crawling across it. I must have read something in there. There must be more.
Well, you have, but whatever it is was so terrible that your mind is blocking it out. So that's maybe a good thing that you don't remember what you read. But what it does tell us is what we got from the notes about the Carlisle expedition, that there is a mountain. The Cult of the Bloody Tongue is connected to the Mountain of the Black Wind. And maybe what you're seeing, the thing that is looking and is seeking us, or everyone, is the God of the Black Wind. So what you're saying and what you've seen matches.
Yes, it is the Black Wind. Definitely. I know that.
But unfortunately, all that you reading it did was attract its attention rather than tell us anything useful about how to defeat it.
Well, I'm sorry, that was not my intention.
Well, we asked you to read the book, so the fault is on us as much as it is on you, if not more so. You were the one that took the risk.
You have to lock it away. You can't. Don't open the book.
How far did you get through? Are you sure there's nothing useful in there? We don't know. Maybe.
If there is, it won't let you read it. Or if you read it, it won't let you. Maybe you could read it, but don't, because it will see you then as well.
Well,
Maybe you have to be
maybe
mad to read it, like Silas was. Silas and Kwame was.
maybe the answer
then-
is for us to destroy the book, because then it prevents the bloody tongue from performing their rituals.
Yeah,
We were
just-
concerned about closing off the pit. Maybe we need to destroy the book as well.
I think you're right. I'm a librarian, and I'm agreeing that we should destroy books. This book, destroy it or hide it, bury it, lock it away.
Destroy it.
We could put
What?
it in the safety deposit box and put everything else in.
We could, or we could burn it now. Why are we keeping it?
Well, what we do know, well, what I recall from my reading of it, and I don't know, Stanton, if this might jog your memory at all, but it was mainly written by, it was notes made by Nigel Blackwell, an amateur explorer, an interesting cults. There was a section about the bloody tongue, and then a description of this ritual to create the living dead. That's about all I gleaned from it. Can you remember nothing, Stanton?
It feels like I can remember, but I can't tell you what I remember, what the details are. It's in here. It's in here at my head, but it's not.
Mm,
Maybe it went in and then it took it out again.
maybe it'll come back to you with time.
But if I remember, it will see me again. So I shouldn't remember. I'll keep it in there. Won't let it out. I'll put it on the shelf when no one can see it.
I would be inclined to destroy it.
The book?
Or,
Hmm.
or to lock it away in a bank vault?
Yeah, but bank vaults do get opened eventually. My question again: why are we keeping it? What's the value? It's of no value to us because we've seen what reading it does to somebody who is sane. It's only going to twist and damage their mind. So it's only of value to someone who is already twisted and damaged, or who is a member of the cult. They need this in order to, well, we're assuming that they need this in order to perform their rituals. If we destroy it, then there is no chance of them ever regaining it. And that would be a setback for the cult. If we keep it, there's always a risk that they'll find it and start again.
Do we have a metal trash can in here?
hmm
Right. I'll grab a metal trash can and a lighter and let's do this thing.
We all agreed?
At worst, it's 50-50, Douglas. So I'll put the book in the bin.
I'd prefer to lock it away, but I'll go with the majority.
Anton?
Yeah, don't open it.
No, I'm asking whether you want us to
Yeah,
keep it
if
or
anyone-
burn it. Do we keep it or do we burn it?
Point to his bare feet and injured leg to say,
I know he's
I-
probably
I-
not in the best.
not really sure whether he gets a vote.
Yeah,
There's
fair
there
point.
is something in there, but I can't remember what it is.
Right. Okay.
So if you-
Let's wait until you are slightly better recovered, slightly of sounder of mind. We will discuss this again. We will hold. We can't put this in a vault tonight. So let's wait on a decision. I'm still for burning it, but let's wait until Stanton, who's probably going to be best placed to cast a vote on it once he is more fully recovered. But
Hmm.
we'll hold on to it for now. But
Yeah.
the standing direction is it burns.
Yeah, well, don't read it. Don't open it.
I'm not going to read it. We're not going to
wrap it up.
And we will just,
Don't burn it yet. There's
Just for-
definitely knowledge in there,
Sorry.
but I can't remember what it is.
Just for clarity's sake, because you weren't here when we discussed this, the
Yeah.
rest of the artifacts were put into Bank Vault. So you put it in like, the Bank of New York in the financial district of Manhattan. That's where you put all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Because you agreed, it was agreed last time. That's what's going to happen. So in the
yeah, no,
interim,
that's fine.
yeah.
Okay. Well, we can't get to that now. We can't get to that now. So
No, it's like approaching
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
we'll
Okay, so are you going to go back to sleep?
close it away. I'll let Stanton sleep in the bedroom tonight, away from the book. We can all. Also, he means he can't get out again without getting past us. and we'll leave the book out here under Lex's care
Okay.
and get some sleep.
Right, the rest of the night passes uneventfully, and you all awaken quite late on the Thursday morning after your exertions of the night before. Stanton, your dreams were troubled. You feel like you've had more nightmares since you slept, but you can't recall any of them. You wake up probably about 9:30 by the time you wake up.
How do you feel? How do you feel, Stanton?
Exhausted.
Anything come back to you?
No, not yet. But I'm sorry for putting you through that. Sorry
Not
for
at
the
all.
mess of things I made. Guess I'll need to get this leg seen.
Well, we need to get your head seen to as well. I wonder if you have amnesia, whether there's anything we can do to assist with that. But yes, we do need to get a doctor to you. We could probably call reception to call a doctor in, couldn't we?
Yep.
We'll do that.
Are we
Okay.
due to see Erica Carlisle
Mm.
today?
Today, this afternoon, yeah. 3:00. Okay, you're going to call a doctor, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Last night, I was petrified of that book, wasn't I?
you were.
You were?
That's, for want of a better word, that's crazy.
Well, are you not scared of it anymore?
Oh, it felt like it was alive, but it's just a book.
But that feeling has passed. So if I give you the book now,
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not just now. Wouldn't mind. I'll get back to it.
so it's still bothering you then?
It's a little bit unsettling, I might say that, but it's still, there is knowledge in it. There is information. The notes have details that would help us. But if
So you're feeling less inclined to burn it this morning then?
no, don't burn it. Not yet. We can't let the bloody tongue get hold of it. But we need to know what they know, so we can get ahead of them. We can trick them, deceive them.
So you're prepared to risk reading on, given what happened last night?
But I'd have to be more careful.
What? Read slower?
Handcuffed
Yes.
to the chair.
Yeah. You can read it. We'll tie you to the chair and then we'll turn the pages
Thank
for you.
And hold my eyes open. Yes, but not just yet. Let me compose myself for a day or two.
Right.
And then I'll get back to it. It's
Okay.
a strange feeling that I was that scared of just paper and ink.
Well, it's not just
And-
paper and ink, is it?
It doesn't.
It's obviously not. There is something
Yes.
magical connected to it in the same way that was something magical connected to the mask that we found in Peru. The fact that it's linking to different places, you're seeing places, the fact that it feels like you're there.
And
There
the
is-
gold, yes, the gold bar. Gold. It's just gold. How could that suddenly magically protect a whole country?
I think we're now
I mean,
beyond the
how-
point of trying to rationalize any of this.
Yes.
The
there is.
moment when I was withered by a dark
Ah,
miasmic cloud being cast from someone's hands was the moment that I gave up trying to
yes.
figure this out. To me, anything is now possible, so I'm inclined to believe anything you
Easy.
tell me when it comes to that book.
But we know they exist.
Okay, the doctor that you have asked reception to call arrives mid-morning, and he tends to Stanton's wound. But kind of shakes his head at the amateur effort that you guys have made, and applies the required bandages and salves to reduce the swelling. And checks it over and said he's pretty sure that there isn't any break. He also he'll make sure that the wound's not infected. This is you got away quite lightly by the looks of it.
I think you're right.
It already feels you're just really stiff now. But after the doctor leaves, you feel like you can still move around and stuff. It's just it's not anywhere near as serious as it could have been.
Yes. I think I did have a lucky escape indeed. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for relieving me from my unexpected midnight sojourn.
We had no choice. You left the door open.
Yes.
I'm glad you're
Depends.
feeling slightly better.
Yeah.
I'll just have to keep a better eye on you in future.
Okay. Do you guys plan on doing anything else before you setting off on the upstate to Westchester Hills?
I didn't intend to do this part. So absolutely, absolutely not. If you stay where you are, please, Stanton. I really do need some more rest.
Okay.
We do need to make a trip to the bank vault to lock the book away.
That we do. We probably don't want to take that up with us, do we?
Okay.
Hmm.
Who's gonna do that then?
We're going to Westchester today.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah,
You've
3
got an
o'clock.
appointment with Erica Carlisle at
Yeah.
3:00.
Hmm.
And it's a fair drive, isn't it?
Well, it should normally take you probably just over half an hour, but with the snow and stuff that's around, it's probably likely to take you like near an hour or so. It's only 30 miles.
Well, Jacob, shall you and I take the
Yeah.
book, or
That's a good idea. I'll keep an eye on Stanton.
yeah?
But you will look after it, won't you? You're not going to burn it, are you?
No, we're
Dunno.
going to lock it away, Stanton. The rest of the
promise?
other.
Depends how cold we get. No, we're not going to burn it. Although suddenly you seem far more interested in keeping it than destroying it.
Well, yes.
That is equally concerning.
Well, only because it has knowledge that I can't remember, but I know there's knowledge in there
Perhaps this-
that would help us.
Right. The moment you start
Right.
saying knowledge is power is the minute I set fire to it.
I think it may be Stanton's rational side coming back in after his episode last night.
Mm.
Yes. Well, I hope that's the case too.
Okay, Jacob and Douglas, how are you getting down to the bank? Taking public transport, I presume. Taxi.
Yeah. Taxi. Yeah.
And what you carrying? Last question: what you carrying the book in?
I'm going to carry it in I think I actually have a briefcase. I think I'll carry it in a briefcase.
Nice. Okay, we've pretty much filled up the whole of the briefcase. It's quite a large book. Okay, you step outside into snowy New York. Okay,
It's more of a messenger bag, to be honest. But
you make your way down to the financial districts of Manhattan, where you previously posited the rest of the artifacts, and presently the book is placed safely in the Bank of New York vault. You have a ticket to recover it, and your journey there and back is uneventful, despite your paranoia. And obviously, I presume whenever you go out now, you're keeping yourself
oh yeah,
fairly. Yeah, you're looking around. Everybody seems to be a threat, but yeah,
Can't help
just
it now.
you got the taxi there and back is no problem at all. You get back at about 1:00 after having deposited the book. Okay.
Mhm.
Right. So I'm assuming that you're just going to head off now then, because you've only got a couple of hours left. So grab something quickly to eat and then go. Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you've got to get the car. Right. Shortly after lunch, you all climb into your hired Chrysler 70B Touring, and Lex begins to navigate through the congested streets of Upper Manhattan before leaving the city's core and crossing into the Bronx, gradually transitioning from the dense urban chaos to more serene, less crowded residential roads. Although snow falls steadily throughout your journey, it's light, and the drive upstate is relatively uneventful. You progress along the recently opened Bronx River Park Highway until presently you pass a snow-laden sign marking the border of Westchester County. The white landscape becomes increasingly rural. Following your road map, you pass through several small towns and villages dotted en route. The tree-lined roads, open fields and dense woodlands are a stark contrast to the skyscrapers of Manhattan. I know Lex is driving, but who else is in the front seat?
Me.
Okay. Stanton, are you sitting behind the driver or behind Douglas?
Yeah, behind Lex.
Okay.
Was it my left leg or right leg?
Hmm.
It was my right leg. Sit on the left because I might be able to stretch it out a bit more easily.
Yeah, okay, it was your right leg. Shortly after entering the increasingly affluent Westchester Hills, the car's engine groans in protest as Lex goes down the gears, slows, and pulls off the main road and onto a private oak tree-lined drive that heads up to the sprawling Carlisle estate. The estate is surrounded by a 12-feet-high iron fence topped with sharpened finials, and a pair of imposing iron gates of similar construction stand in your way. The gates are flanked by two athletic-looking men clad in tweed suits, flat caps, and each carrying a Lee Enfield rifle over their shoulders. One of them moves forward towards the car as you roll up the drive. They're on your side, Douglas.
Okay.
Afternoon. Names, please.
Douglas Blake. Sorry,
Okay,
bear with me.
presume you ought to give your
Sorry.
names. Do you?
Yeah, go on. Sorry,
Yeah. Okay.
distracted.
They're looking at the reg number of the car. Invite.
Hand over
Yeah.
the letter that we were given from
Yeah.
the telegram. Yeah, so telegram.
Okay. Well, he looks at the telegram. Yeah, he nods and he hands you the telegram back. He just walks over towards the gate, and presently the gate begins to open. He's actually opening it from like a small kind of booth, as it were, next to the gate, and they're obviously electric gates.
Mm.
They open silently in front of you. You gonna drive through?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
By the way, I hadn't forgotten everyone's names. I was just suddenly thrown because my character sheet just lost everything, and I was having a panic. Anyway, it's back now.
I take it that's
mansion-
an unusually high level of security, is it, for New York?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, she's extremely rich, isn't she? I mean,
And
Yes.
paranoid, one might think.
Yeah, I'm with Jacob on this. Do you think she had this much security before she went looking for her brother?
The mansion, an architectural marvel of the Gilded Age, looms large against the grey sky, its turrets and gables towering over the long lawns that surround it. At the end of the gravel drive in front of the house is parked a brand new Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, silver in colour with the registration plate EC1. As you get out of your car, you can hear the savage barking of barely restrained dogs from somewhere beyond stable barns that stand to the right of the main house. The gravel crunches underfoot as you head towards the porticoed front entrance to the house. You cannot help but notice that security is obviously a priority for Miss Carlyle, as another armed guard passes you with a nod as he circles the house. Okay.
they're not that good because I didn't check whether we're carrying firearms.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to go up the steps, up the portico steps to the front door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You go up to the steps and you use the knocker. Okay, you are greeted by a solemn butler. As the door opens, he's standing in front of you. His demeanour impeccably polite, yet his eyes betray a flicker of curiosity. Flanking the butler are two more guards in similar garb to those you've seen outside. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm afraid I'll have to subject you to the ignominy of the search.
Well, let me save you some time, and I shall hand over my pistol.
So,
Okay. You hand over your
so would
pistol.
I.
Yep, same here.
Well, the guard and the butler kind of steps back out the way, and the two guards they frisk you anyway, even though you've handed over your weapon.
That's fair enough. I hadn't finished actually, but
Huh?
I'll
It's
also
gonna be one of
hand.
those scenes, isn't
It is going to be one of those scenes. I'll hand over my switchblade and my blackjack and my brass knuckles, and
Oh.
and the 38 revolver that I've got on my ankle.
I might leave mine in the car.
You see, one of them, the guards, like they look quite startled by the amount that you're packing, Douglas. Had a bit of trouble. Had some trouble, have we?
I used to be careful circles that I move in.
Well,
I'll show them my warrant card because they'll carry it.
Okay, a flicker of understanding crosses their face. English police, eh?
Was I can't claim that anymore. But old habits die hard. And New York can be a troublesome place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Well, I'm sure we'll be safe here.
The butler says, "Well, I can guarantee you that this is one place you will be safe." He kind of looks at all did Stanton and Jacob? Did you have guns as well?
Yes.
Yeah, you've
Yeah, I
Handed
did,
over my Mauser.
Okay, follow me, please. The interior is richly adorned with lavish furnishings, fine art, and intricate woodwork. An air of antiquity and wealth pervades the space, accompanied by quiet that seems almost unnatural. The butler escorts you to a drawing room. As you enter the room, you have to pass a tall, solid, Mediterranean-looking man who seemingly stands guard outside. His head a shock of wavy black hair, his nose almost shapeless, obviously having been broken many times. He regards you carefully with sharp, blue eyes that hint at an intelligence belying his brutish appearance. The room is elegantly decorated with deep mahogany panelling and plush velvet drapes. A crackling fire in the grand fireplace adds a warm, flickering glow to the otherwise dimly lit room. The scent of rich tobacco and polished leather fills the air. Next to the window stands the slender, slightly foppish figure of Bradley Gray. Somebody just drop off then.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm here.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. Erica Carlyle is seated in an armchair near the fireplace, her presence commanding and enigmatic. She is a striking blonde-haired woman in her late 20s, with an air of sophistication and intelligence. Her attire is impeccably tailored, reflecting her status and confidence. Her eyes are sharp and perceptive. She scrutinises you as you enter, and offers you a faint smile of acknowledgement. Good afternoon,
Good
gentlemen.
Good afternoon, Miss Carlyle.
I trust
Perhaps
your
I could
journey was a pleasant one.
A little cold, but very pleasant. Perhaps I could introduce us, my colleagues. I'm Jacob Lockhart. This is Stanton Fitzwarren, Douglas Blake, and Lex Waugh. We're so pleased you could you take the time to meet with us.
Please take a seat. Would you like some tea?
That would be lovely, thank you.
Yes, that would be lovely. Thank you.
Mr. Corey, she directs this towards the door. Would you ask Wait to ring for tea, please? Yes, the weather is a frightful drag, is it not?
It is a rather depends. Can I say what a beautiful home you have, Miss Carlyle, and obviously exquisite taste in artwork.
Thank you. I understand from Mr. Gray that you have information regarding my brother's expedition.
Well, we do. Perhaps we should get straight to where to start. Well, we have, or had, rather, I should say, Blair Jackson, who we travelled extensively with in Peru a couple of years ago. He was a writer with a particular interest in researching blood cults. That's what brought us all here back recently. Jackson called us back to say that he had some news for us. We came back to New York to find that he'd been brutally murdered in the most awful way. We have found some of his.
I saw it in the papers.
It was a terrible blow to find out that he died after, well, before we'd even had the chance to reacquaint ourselves with him. But he bequeathed us his research notes, and it's clear that in the months before he died, he was researching an African blood cult called the Bloody Tongue. Probably wondering what all with you, but in those course of those researches, it brought his path across that of the Carlisle expedition. He spoke to Kenya, interviewing someone called Kenyatta, who confirmed that the Carlisle murders were performed by the same cult that Jackson was investigating. We can perhaps share this with you if you wish, but and it was soon after that we discovered firm evidence that the Bloody Tongue were at work here in New York. Jackson was killed by the Bloody Tongue before he could share anything with us, but it's quite clear he had information about the fate of the population in the bodies that were found. None of them were Caucasian. The implication being that there may have been something of a cover-up by the Kenyan authorities, and that the victims that were found may not have included your brother. We know, Miss Carlisle, that you've investigated this yourself, hoping that we might share information with you and to our mutual benefit.
Jackson Elias. Yes, I'd heard of him even before his untimely death. He's known for exposing the unusual and the inexplicable, is he not?
He is, which sadly I think may be what led to his murder.
Are you saying that my brother could still be alive?
We think there's a distinct chance because Jackson
that's the implication.
did subsequently interview. Sorry.
If this is true, why hasn't Roger reached out? Why stay hidden?
Can't answer that, Miss Carlisle, unless he's hiding. They are dangerous people.
Or a prisoner.
Bradley had told me a little about your investigation. I must admit, I'm intrigued by what you've uncovered. My brother's disappearance has been a source of great pain for me for a long time now. Any new insights that you or anyone may have. She sits back in the chair and please don't hold back. I want to know everything, no matter how unusual or unsettling it may be. If there's even the slightest chance that your findings could shed light on what happened to Roger, I want to hear it. You must understand, this is not just about closure for me, it's about understanding what drove my brother to make the choices he did, and whether there's any hope that he might still be alive.
Stanton, would it be worth mentioning Nelson? Oh, Stanton. Jacob, even. Sorry.
Oh, yes. So much of Jack.
Is Andy really breaking up for everyone else as well?
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
hear Andy.
No,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of. Andy, you're breaking up massively.
Okay. Do you want to? Am
No,
I
you're back
still
now.
breaking up? Oh yeah. Looks like.
No, try again.
You only break up when you're saying something important.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, adds to the drama though. So fair enough. Elias ran into a mercenary, or an ex-mercenary called Nails Nelson in Nairobi. He claimed to have seen Jack Brady alive in New York.
You see her face suddenly come to light when you say, Jack is alive?
That's what he claimed.
Well, so this man claimed and Ken declared that Brady and the rest of the expedition were murdered. Brady was reluctant, I think, to share too much with Elias, but it seemed to confirm in Elias's mind his suspicions that there may be members of the expedition who survived.
If Brady is still alive, then Roger wouldn't be far away. I'm sure that Jack would. Why would he not have contacted me? He's a good man.
This we don't understand.
Did Roger have an interest in? Would he have been interested in them?
Interested in what? Sorry, I didn't hear that again.
Would Roger searching them?
See, I told you he broke up when he was saying something important.
Yeah.
Give it one more go.
Would Roger have been interested in the Bloody Tongue? Would he have researched them?
Erica kind of shifts in her chair. She leans back. Her eyes fixed on the flickering flames in the fireplace, as if she's kind of casting herself back in time. Roger was always the adventurous type. Ever since we were children, he had a penchant for the extraordinary and the dangerous. It was as if he was chasing something that the rest of us couldn't see. Being the heir to the Carlisle fortune afforded him certain liberties. He surrounded himself with all manner of people, from scholars to mystics, anyone who fed into his fascination with the exotic and the arcane. When he announced his expedition to Egypt, I was sceptical. He spoke of it as a quest of enlightenment, but it seemed more like a reckless escapade. I tried to dissuade him, but he wouldn't hear of it. He was convinced he was on the brink of some great discovery. Despite his flaws, Roger was my brother. He had a charisma that drew people in, but it also led him down dangerous paths. I believe he was searching for something to fill a void, something beyond wealth and privilege. After the news broke about the massacre in Kenya, it felt like the world collapsed around me. She takes a sip of her tea. The authorities were so quick to conclude that everyone in the expedition had perished, but something about the entire situation, it never sat right with me. It all seemed too convenient, too neat almost. They claimed to have found the remains of the entire party, but I never saw Roger's body for myself. The British authorities in Kenya were firm in their statements, but they were also frustratingly vague. They never offered any clear evidence beyond their word. From the moment I heard the news, a nagging feeling has stayed with me that something wasn't quite right, that the true story wasn't being told. I've been plagued by this unease, as if there's a piece of the puzzle that's still missing, something that would explain everything. Her eyes kind of move away from the fire and meet yours, Jacob. Part of me wishes I had gone and insisted on seeing whatever they found, but at the time I was overwhelmed with grief and the burden of managing the family's affairs. I trusted the official reports, yet deep down I've always questioned them. What if Roger wasn't among the dead? What if something else happened out there, something too terrible or too strange for them to reveal? That thought haunts me, that Roger might still be out there somewhere, or that his fate was far worse than I imagine. I need to know what really happened. If there's any truth to these doubts, or any evidence that Roger might still be alive, or that the expedition met a different end, than what we've been told. I have to know. I can't rest until I find the truth, no matter how dark it may be. I went to Kenya hoping to find answers. Something. Anything that could tell me what happened to Roger and the rest of the expedition. After the massacre was reported, I couldn't just accept it. I had to see for myself. When I arrived, the British authorities were quick to shut me out. They were cold, distant, treating the whole thing as if it were a closed case. A massacre by local tribesmen, they said, no survivors. It was all so official, so final. But as I've said, they really offered no evidence, just a few vague details and assurances that the bodies had been dealt with.
And,
I went to... Sorry.
Was it Roger Corridon that you spoke to when you were there?
I do not know the man's name. I cannot remember now.
He was the Colonial Undersecretary for Internal Affairs?
That was him.
Yes, Jackson Elias spoke to him too, and he did not provide any useful information to him either. So it seems that he perhaps encountered the same barriers that you did initially.
He was an odious and officious man. I went to the massacre site anyway, escorted by some local guides, against the wishes of the Foreign Office. It was a haunting place, overgrown, desolate. The remains of the camp were little more than ruins, burnt tents, scattered supplies. Nothing left that could give me a clear picture of what happened. The authorities claimed that they had buried the bodies, but I never saw any graves. There was just an eerie emptiness, like the land had swallowed them up. The local people wouldn't speak openly about the expedition. They seemed afraid. Some of them muttered about dark spirits or cursed ground, some mountain. But it was all vague, nothing concrete. It made me feel like there was something they weren't telling me, something too frightening to say out loud. They avoided the site as if it were cursed. I also heard whispers about the Negro woman who had such a hold over Roger. Some said she was involved in a dangerous cult, something ancient and sinister. There were rumours about strange ceremonies in the jungle, rituals that had nothing to do with the civilized world. But again, no one would give me any solid information. They just told me to leave, to forget what I was asking about.
What was the woman's name?
Are you referring to Miss Masters, the photographer?
No, not her. She was not a Negro. Boone, her name was.
Une?
Boone.
Boone.
Did Roger meet her in London, or when they arrived in Cairo, or
He met her here, in New York.
in New York? I see.
Boone was unlike anyone Roger had ever met. He was utterly captivated by her from the moment they crossed paths. She was a woman of striking presence, charismatic and enigmatic, and she had a way of making those around her feel like they were in the presence of something truly extraordinary. Roger said she was queenly, a priestess of secrets. Boone seemed to understand Roger in a way that no one else did. I resented her for that. She spoke of ancient wisdom and hidden truths, and Roger, always drawn to the arcane and mysterious, hung on her every word. She wielded a powerful influence over him. I feared she was manipulating him, using his vulnerabilities and his thirst for knowledge to her advantage. She encouraged his fascination with the occult, she fed his obsessions, and she drew him deeper into her web. He became more secretive, more distant, and I couldn't shake the feeling that she was at the centre of it all. When the expedition to Egypt was announced, I knew it was her doing. She was instrumental in convincing him and Houston that it was more than just a journey, it was a quest for enlightenment, a chance to uncover the secrets of the universe. Her influence was undeniable, and I believe it played a significant role in their decision to venture into those perilous territories. Boone was not just a companion, she was a leader in her own right. Whatever she was after, it was clear she had a purpose that extended beyond the others' ambitions. If what you say is true, and Roger is still alive, we need to understand what hold she had over my brother. Discovering the truth about her influence may be key to unravelling the mystery. Even now, I hate her, I'm sorry to say.
You know how they met?
I know only that they met in Harlem.
Did your brother ever frequent a place or mention a place called Juju House?
To be honest, Mr. Blake, I never talked in any detail. I can say that he did, for a time, disappear off for days on end shortly after, around the time that he met her, saying that he'd been out in Harlem. He used to come back wide-eyed and wild-looking, drinking heavily, I guess, maybe drugs involved too. My brother, he was that type. He did everything to the extreme. I do
Well,
not know which speakeasies he frequented. Probably all of them.
The Juju house was unfortunately not a speakeasy. We were aware of the bloody tongue cult that Jacob mentioned previously. It's been active in New York, and I fear that perhaps Roger may have fell under its influence, or a similar cult represented by Bune, and that she passed on their beliefs, and that is what they were seeking when they went to Africa.
That wouldn't surprise me. It fits with everything I know about her and my brother.
But if that is the case, then there may be hope for, if he's become a member of the cult, then he would not necessarily become a victim of the cult. So, in answer to your question as to why he has not been in contact, it may be because he does not want to, because he has been so indoctrinated into the cult that he now believes that is his home. If that's true, then it would be something that perhaps we could assist with to seek to find him and bring him back.
Why would you want to do this?
Because Jackson Elias was murdered by the Bloody Tongue, and he was a extremely good friend of ours, a brother almost. And the cult, as was active in New York, committed atrocities. And if they are active in Egypt, if they are active in Hong Kong, if they're active in Africa, anywhere, then we want to seek them out and stop what they are doing for the good of anybody that they come in contact with. We're not asking for anything from you in order to follow this investigation. We do not need or desire your wealth. Perhaps your influence and a word in authorities is as appropriate, but we have our own reasons for wanting to discover what is going on, and if we can assist you at the same time, then our objectives align.
After all, the only thing necessary for the triumph, you do nothing.
And we are good men.
She smiles. If there's a chance Roger's alive, I must know. I will support your investigation in any way I can, but I need assurances that we're not chasing ghosts.
Well, we have these notes that you can read. This is what we are working on. This is circumstantial, yet corroborating evidence. There's things in here that you have spoken of that we would have no way of knowing. So Jackson must have found these out for himself. There are names in here that mean something to you that mean nothing to us.
Oh, we're chasing shadows, yes, but not ghosts.
Yeah. We're chasing the things that cast the shadows.
I'm not a fool. I know whatever Roger got involved in is far beyond anything I've ever dealt with. I think I've always known that. I can offer you money, resources, connections, whatever you need to get to the bottom of this. I'm also willing to finance your investigation, whatever you need, travel, equipment. I want to find the truth as much as you do, more, and I won't let money be an obstacle.
Well, we fear that there is, unless you have notes of Rogers or anything that Bune might have given him, anything that you think might be of value prior to us departing, I think there is very little for us that we can do in New York. We would speak first, I think, to travel to London, where we have potential leads there, then maybe on to Egypt to find out what took Roger from Egypt further into Africa. But your offer of financial assistance, particularly with travel, is greatly appreciated. We'll, of course, provide regular reports to you as to our investigations, what we discover. Would you wish some additional time to think upon this and maybe read what we have bought?
Turns to Bradley. Bradley has read the notes. I take his word for it. I have not got where I am in life and in business without being a good judge of character. She smiles. As crazy as it may seem, I trust you. A lot of what you say only adds credence to that which I thought. Roger was not a good businessman. He did not have a head for figures. His attention to detail was poor. The Carlyle Corporation was on its knees when he was its head. Since his death, I have had to spend all of my time turning the business round, and I've not had enough time to do anything else. Now, business is good. There are many within the corporation who are glad that Roger is no longer here. And if I'm honest, I might say, with shame, that sometimes I have felt that way. But he is my brother. We grew up together. All his flaws. If he is still alive, then I will use everything to try and find him.
One thing we should warn you, during our investigations, you are likely to hear things that may be very disturbing to you, fantastical even. Our previous encounters with these cultists have been extremely disturbing, violent. They are not pleasant people to deal with. They are zealots. They believe in the magic and the gods that they worship, and they behave accordingly. So as we discover things, you say you trust us. I'm afraid you're going to have to trust that some of the things that we tell you, although they may be very hard to believe, are the truth, and we will be reporting them back to you in good faith.
I know of what you speak. You can see her thinking.
Was there a kind of twinge there when she said, I know?
In the months leading up to his departure, Roger became increasingly withdrawn. He spent most of his time in the library, surrounded by a collection of old books that he guarded fiercely. I noticed a change in him, the growing obsession with those texts, as if they held answers to questions only he could understand. She pauses, her brow furrows as she recalls the details. These weren't just any books. They were ancient, with cracked leather bindings and pages that seemed ready to crumble to dust. They were written in languages I did not recognise. I remember seeing symbols, strange diagrams, and passages that made my skin crawl. One day I couldn't resist my curiosity. Roger had left one of the books out, and I decided to take a look. I don't know what I was expecting, but what I read, it terrified me. The words spoke of dark rituals, otherworldly beings, and terrible knowledge that seemed to twist the mind just by contemplating it. After that, I understood why Roger kept these books hidden. He had a safe installed in the library behind a false panel where he kept them locked away. He never talked about what he read, but I could see the toll it was taking on him. It was these books that were drawing him deeper into some dark abyss. I tried to confront him about it, to get him to talk to me, but he would just brush me off, saying I wouldn't understand. I could see the fear in his eyes, though, fear in something else, something almost eager. It was like he was on the brink of discovering something, but whatever it was, I don't think it was meant for human eyes. I've never told anybody about this. Not even you, Bradley. He just kind of looks at the floor. I know I sound crazy, but now you come in with what you said?
We are in the possession of a similar book, and what you describe is similar to the experience that good friend Stanton here encountered when he read. I'm afraid that you have an insight into something that both terrifies and draws people to it. Did your brother take those books when he went? Have you looked in the safe since?
Well, that is another story. Do you need any more tea, by the way?
Yes, please. My throat is getting dry.
Extra sugar for me, Ed.
Our friend Jackson's notes referred to Robert's safe. His notes referred to the psychoanalyst files surviving, which we thought might be a reference to Dr. Robert Huston. And then there was also a reference to Carlyle's safe. You said there was a story to tell. Was Carlyle?
Your friend, Mr. Elias, was very good at his job, was he not?
It was indeed.
She sips on the newly replenished tea. She says, not long after I returned from Kenya, there was an incident here at the mansion. A break-in. It happened during the night, and at first it seemed like a random burglary, but I soon realised it was anything but. The burglars didn't take anything of obvious value. They didn't touch the silver, the jewellery, the art. Instead, they went straight to the library. It was clear that they were searching for something specific. When I found the library the next morning, it was a mess. Books pulled from the shelves, papers scattered everywhere. But the safe where Roger kept the books and personal papers remained untouched. They must have been searching for something they thought would be easier to find, or perhaps they didn't know about the safe. She crosses her arms. The idea that someone broke into my home, into Roger's sanctuary, has left me deeply unsettled. It felt like a violation, as if the intruders were trying to steal away the last pieces of him that I had left. But more than that, it made me realise that whenever Roger had been involved in it was far from over. I never found out who was behind the break-in, but I can't help but think it was connected to the expedition. Perhaps someone who knew what Roger had been studying, or who believed that he had discovered something valuable, something dangerous. If you're going to investigate further, you need to be careful. Whoever or whatever was behind that break-in is still out there, searching for answers, or perhaps trying to cover up the truth. If they targeted the library, it means that they were looking for something related to Roger's research, something they believe was worth the risk. Now they've killed Elias too. You must be in danger.
There have already been several attempts on our life, so this is unfortunately not news to us.
I'm sorry to hear that. As you can see, I've added additional security measures since then. I cannot have anybody doing that to me again. The thing is, on that day, when I went to open the safe, I found that the combination had been changed. Roger must have done it before he left. I have never set foot in the library since that day. It chills me to do so. For all I know, the books are still there.
Look at Jacob.
Would they be of use to you?
I think they may be vital in our research. They would certainly tell us more about what Roger was thinking and what he knew.
Unfortunately, I don't have the combination to the safe.
I look at Jacob again.
Would you object if we looked at the safe, but with to put this delicately, a view to opening it for you?
He smiles. Well, if you think that you can and that its contents will be of use, then of course. I do not normally trust people so quickly. Bradley, I can see that you are doing that thing with your hair when you're nervous. Do not worry. These gentlemen, there's just something about them that I know that this is the right thing to do. And yes, I will not stand in your way. If you think the books will help and you can open the safe, then by all means. The library is that way.
The first one is a definite yes. Let's just see if we can get you 2 yeses, Mom. I'll stand up. Can we take a look?
He says, you know that Dr. Houston accompanied Roger on the expedition, don't you?
Yes. I don't know much about him, though.
He used to be my psychiatrist.
A New Yorker?
Yes.
Did you speak to him after you read the book about what you read?
No, I did not speak to anyone about that. Today is the first time that I've ever uttered knowledge of those things that I read. But I was responsible for introducing Houston to my brother.
And do you know what led Houston to join the expedition?
When I first introduced Roger to Dr. Houston, I had only the best intentions. Roger had been struggling with what I perceived as a restlessness of spirit, the sense of dissatisfaction that I've previously referred to, that seemed to gnaw at him despite his privileged life. He was having strange dreams and always looked awfully unrested. I thought that perhaps a skilled psychiatrist could help him find some peace. Dr. Houston had a reputation for unconventional methods that catered to the wealthy elite. He was known for pushing the boundaries of traditional psychiatry, and I believed his approach might appeal to Roger's inquisitive nature. Houston seemed to offer the possibility of insight and enlightenment, a way for Roger to confront his inner demons. At first, Roger seemed invigorated by their sessions. He spoke of new ideas and perspectives, and I was hopeful, but as time went on, I noticed a change in him. He became more withdrawn, more obsessed with the mysteries Houston introduced him to. It was as if the doctor had opened doors in Roger's mind that should have remained closed. I can't help but feel responsible for what happened. I wanted to help Roger, to steer him towards something that could fulfill him, but instead I fear I led him into Houston's thrall. The doctor's influence was profound, and I didn't see it until it was too late. When Roger announced the expedition, I knew Houston and that Negro woman would be part of it. Houston had become indispensable to Roger, not just as a psychiatrist, but as a confidant and advisor. I had my suspicions about his true intentions, but Roger wouldn't hear of them. Just like the Negro woman, he trusted Houston implicitly, and that trust led them both into peril. I introduced them hoping to heal my brother, but instead, I fear I set in motion a chain of events that none of us could foresee. Whatever secrets Houston was privy to, whatever he and Roger discovered, I believe it cost them dearly. I'm deeply sorry for that. She seems really upset now. She's kind of trying to.
No, you could not have known. This is not your fault.
No,
So-
but these are things that have been haunting me since the terrible events. I have worked 25 hours a day, some days, to keep my mind active and keep these things away. And now you come here with this. I should be angry with my brother, but I'm not. I want to do anything that I can to, if he's still alive, to help him. If you need the books, have them.
And Jacob, shall we
Well, we can but try.
go through to the library?
Bradley Gray says it's this way. Are you sure? Can you just he says, can you just remain in the hallway, please? Whilst
Sure.
I have the butler stands in the hallway with you, and Bradley and Miss Carlyle have a conversation. Which is
Jacob, do you have the dynamite?
We might need it.
It sounds as though the library is certainly the place where the secrets are buried. Let's hope we can find some of them outside of the safe.
Well,
That may even lead us to the new combination. Not doubting your skills, Jacob, in the art of clock repair.
Mhm.
But yeah.
okay. Presently, the Bradley Gray comes back out, and he nods towards the butler, and the butler says, "This way, please."
Thank you. I'll follow him.
He takes you along a few corridors, through a couple of doors, down some steps, till you are shown into the library. He the butler makes us so. In the library are easy chairs, tables, and reading lamps, ashtrays, and spittoons, an elaborate high Victorian iron fireplace, a magnificent teak and slate billiards table, and several thousand volumes protected within unlocked glass cases on the walls. There are leather-bound volumes as you look around: Trollope, Dickens, Bulwer Lytton even, Mrs. Radcliffe, Francis Parkman, Ralph Waldo Emerson, George Washington Cable. And another section contains books on the occult, quite a large section. On the north wall of the library is a large case filled with old reference works in both English and French. The butler goes to one of the cases, opens the case, and then puts his hand in and presses something. You can't really see me on the wall somewhere, and the whole of the case swings away and reveals a combination safe behind it. 6-digit combination safe.
mechanics question.
Mhm.
On the cheat sheet, 'cause we know actually just haven't used this. Spending luck.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Okay, good.
That's
Just want.
a pulp thing.
Okay, cool.
It's all right.
Yeah, that probably would explain why I haven't encountered it.
Yeah, good.
Moving on.
I think Stanton may have used it when he was crossing the road earlier, if that's the case. Yeah, so an antique wall safe embedded in the wall which has a 6-digit combination code.
Go over and have a closer look at the safe.
Okay, you with your trained eye, you're impressed at the quality of the safe and of you know that these type of combination safes are going to be they're one of the hardest type of safes to crack.
I'll look back at the others and give a slight shake of the head, but I'll try.
Okay, what are the rest you doing?
Watching.
Okay.
Let's get started.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely impressive collection of books here, but I guess you could expect that. I think I'll start on this section here, the occult. Anything that can give us a 6-figure combination, a date being the most obvious one. Of course, American dates. Look at Douglas, they're written backwards.
They are.
So yes, is the butler still there?
Okay, you're gonna have a go and try and open it.
Yeah. It's definitely beyond me.
I think I might have seen one of these before. May I have a look?
You can try. It's a damn good quality safe, but by all means, have a go.
Yeah, right. You're right.
Those are some excellently large numbers, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Could try and push it. Might break the lock.
Yeah, that's pretty much what might happen.
Better not do that, eh? Start guessing numbers.
Well, I think you have the obvious things of dates of birth. But yeah.
Vital statistics.
Is it a 6-digit?
Yeah.
Cool. There's only a million different options, though. I do apologise. 999,999.
So we'll solve it in just under 3 years.
I've already tried one, so that takes one combination.
I've tried 2.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. We're getting there.
We're,
Progress.
we're practically there.
Given a bit of time, I might be able to find someone who has more skill at this than me. But the alternative might be to see if we can find something that has some significance in terms of a date, perhaps.
We don't want to damage it. How about latitude and longitude with minutes?
I have degrees, minutes, seconds,
Yeah.
but that's only half.
So
Anyway,
that's a no then.
Perhaps we could ask Erica if her brother left any papers that are not in the safe.
I have this piece of paper with 6 numbers on it.
Apart from that, he left nothing behind at all.
well, I suppose we could ask for pertinent dates from Miss Carlyle.
He wouldn't do anything so obvious, would he?
Maybe the date that he met Brune.
You want to make a spot hidden roll, please?
That's a hard success for me.
Regular success for me.
Blind as a bat for me.
Staring at the safe.
69, dude.
There's not a little button in the right-hand corner. It says open in very small letters.
No, it's literally open already. It's just luckily Jacob and I locked it. Was it behind? It was behind a portrait.
Behind a cabinet.
Behind the cabinet.
Mhm.
Everything on the cabinet, around the cabinet.
So did my hard success not achieve anything?
What it achieved was my slow typing. That's what it achieved.
Oh, okay. Apologies.
What do we
Impatient
say? Caution, secret message incoming.
Imagine how fast he'd had to type if it was a critical success.
Okay. Jacob's pretty exasperated by this, so he kind of wanders off, starts looking around all the books in the cabinets, whilst the rest of you decide what you're thinking, what you can do next.
I'm going to take one of the books off the shelf and start flicking through it.
Take what, sorry?
I'm going to take one of the books off the shelf and start flicking through it.
Okay.
Anything interesting, Jacob?
It's a tome by Poe.
I didn't hear what
Edgar
Andy
Allan, was
said.
that?
He's got a book in his
So
hand.
it's a tome by Poe.
Edgar Allan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not really to my taste.
He's taken out a book and he's saying it's by Poe, but he's taken it out of the French reference books in the north, in the cabinet on the north wall.
Somebody's not
Doesn't
very
belong.
good.
Mhm.
No.
Somebody put it back in the wrong place.
Is there anything in it? Is there anything behind it? I will go and have a look in the space where it was put in, and then in the gap.
Okay.
And behind the gap.
I'm going to have another go at the safe.
Excellent.
No, you don't find anything where the volume was, but it is certainly erroneous in that every other volume in the whole of that cabinet is in French,
Hmm.
and is a reference book aside from the one that Jacob now holds in his hand. Well, he's walked over to the safe now. What are you going to try and do? Open the safe.
Yeah, while he's doing that, I'm going to try and find the reference book that is probably in the spot where the Edgar Allan Poe book should have been.
Yeah. I think you might as well tidy up after yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, you all hear a kind of creaking sound of metal which draws your attention to where Jacob is now standing in front of an open 6-digit antique safe.
Do tell Jacob.
I'll bow with a flourish.
Page numbers circled.
Oh, just consummate skill, gentlemen.
Fix the trade, hey? Can't divulge your secrets.
How many books are in there?
You can have a look in, are you?
Rather well done.
Yep.
Okay. There are 4 books inside.
Ooh, one each.
You're gonna take one out?
Take them all out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put them on the table and have a look at the covers.
Right. The first one is a huge single red volume with red leather binding. Just bear with me a second. I'll give you see if there's a better description there with. Yeah, it's just a red leather, but it's a very thick tome, red leather binding, and it's got some weird kind of symbols and sigils etched on the front. No title though. Second one is a manuscript which is kind of loosely bound together in what looks to be some sort of skin, maybe calf skin. That's what it looks like. Let's see if there's anything else on that. Yeah, it hasn't. Again, that's got no writing or anything on the front. It's just got some. Yeah, it's kind of a strange blue color with some like a chain which kind of hangs from the back of the book over to the front. Maybe uses a bookmark or something. It's a bit odd. But the third one is a single volume bound in black skin or hide. The hide looks like a cross between leather and snake skin. There's something about that hide that that is like quite disconcerting. The last one is poorly bound in you kind of put it back down again as you realise what it is. You think it's actually human skin that it's bound in. It has a symbol of an upside down ankh on the cover.
Interesting. Oh, I guess we should make a start on all of these.
Well, perhaps not here.
Did we have permission to remove them from the library?
Should tell Miss Carlyle that we've opened the safe before we do anything else.
Yeah, and we'll take them back.
1 second.
Find out which one she.
What did she look at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to go back to the where you met her previously and where she is.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any luck?
We did. And we've found Roger's tomes all here. A rather eclectic collection.
What do you need them?
Well, only time will tell. They're going to require some close study if we're going to gain anything from them. As
I
you
have
can
no
see,
use
they're no
for them.
ordinary books.
I'm happy for you to have them or to borrow them at least.
Well, Stanton here can take good care of them. He's an antiquarian, so he will know how to look after them.
Yes, that's quite right. I will take very good care, as my friend says. I've worked in libraries for many years.
They've been sat in there for years. Whatever value they have, I do not know. But if they help you in your investigations, then I am happy for you to reference them as much as you like. But be warned, the content, as I said, the content of the one that I looked at was very unnerving.
And which one was that?
The big red one.
Okay, we will keep that in mind.
All I remember about it, and it has been a long time since I looked, was there was something about Australia and the deserts and ancient cities, creatures that, it was like a children's book. Fairy tales, but it wasn't written like that. There's something about it that was, well, I don't know what it was.
A bat, possibly?
Pardon?
Bat?
I don't remember now.
We've come across writings referencing a cult in Australia that worships a bat god.
Well, as I said, if you wish to borrow them, then please feel free to do so.
Perhaps we should take them and study them, and based on what we can learn from them and from what you've told us, we can come up with a plan of action and then return to you in a couple of days to arrange most likely passage to other countries to continue our investigations there, if that would be acceptable to you.
Of course. Yes, of course. I have quite a lot of engagements over the next week or so, but I'm sure that if you contact Bradley, we will prioritise meeting again with you.
Do you have a telephone number, perhaps, a direct line that we could contact Bradley on, or yourself?
Bradley gives you a card with his direct phone number on it.
Thank you. I'll make sure everybody else gets a copy of that later on.
Well, I must warn you to be careful, though. I mean, it sounds silly, but whatever you're chasing, whatever you think you'll find, it's darker than we realise. Roger thought he could handle it. He thought he was in control, but he wasn't, and it consumed him. If you do find out what happened to him, if you uncover the truth, please don't let it destroy you too.
We will be careful. We are painfully aware of the risks involved. We may be good people, but we are not foolish heroes.
I've lost one brother to madness, and don't make me watch more people disappear into it, please.
I look at Stanton,
I'll
shake my head slightly.
look down at my shoes.
I think, gentlemen, perhaps we should leave Miss Carlyle and reconvene at a later date. And can I say thank you very much for agreeing to see us. We hope, although this must have brought up very many uncomfortable memories for you, that we're perhaps a few steps closer to finding out what happened to your brother and giving you some peace.
Yes, you're welcome. I hope what I've shared helps you piece this together.
I think it will be invaluable.
Be smart. Don't go poking around where you don't belong unless you're ready to face the consequences.
I
mean, if you find anything about Roger, anything worth knowing, I'd appreciate hearing about it and keeping me up to date.
Of course.
Most definitely.
Good. With that, she gives a final nod. Then she turns and walks out of the room.
All right, well, in which case I think we should probably depart, gentlemen.
Okay, you can go back to the library and grab the books.
Take the books.
The
Ask
bus
Bradley if we
to the
could.
library and Bradley as well.
Yeah, does Bradley have anything that we could carry the books in?
I can probably find you. We have like some small cart chests or something. What sort of thing do you want?
How big is it? I mean, could we fit
They're pretty big books.
a couple of suitcases?
Yeah, he can finish you with those.
Easier to carry.
Yeah.
I'll look wistfully at the alt section.
Okay.
You can come back.
Yeah, I could definitely spend a few days in here, but another time. We have more pressing issues.
Okay. Just going to send you a message, Simon.
Oh.
Right, okay. Are you heading out?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's a good place to stop then, I think.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. Another episode in the can. Another week goes by. Another chip away at Stanton's sanity. We'll be back next week, some madder than others. So, see you soon on Steady Roller Man Presents Masks and Nyarlathotep.